Hello, everyone. Welcome to Live Talk with Dr. Choma. So, today we're going to be talking about a vaccine that is given to young girls around 9 and above. You know, and there has been rumors about this vaccine. They have been said, this vaccine, it is going to, cause infertility in these young girls when they grow up, that the government is trying to, stop population growth and all that. Okay, but which vaccine is this? I mean, when I heard it, I had to think, okay, vaccine given to young girls, of primary, late primary, or secondary school age, and I had to think, which vaccine is that is given solely to girls? And I found out, I remembered, okay, this is the vaccine against HPV, against cervical cancer that is given to our children. First, let's know what cervical cancer is. Cervical cancer is a cancer that affects the cervix. And what is the cervix? Cervix is commonly called the mouth of the womb. So it's an opening into the main womb that carries our babies or carries children. So that is what cervical cancer is. And the thing about cervical cancer is that it is very common. It is the fourth most common cancer in the world right now. And in Nigeria, it is the third most common cancer. And it affects only women, and is the second most frequent cause of death from cancer. So you can see how this cancer is very important. And the worst part of it is, most times this cancer is not diagnosed early because people don't present with symptoms on time because it's inside. You don't get to see a lot of symptoms, and by the time you're seeing symptoms, a lot of things have gone wrong. But thank God for technology. We have ways to know on time at a particular age, and we have a vaccine to stop the spread. Why do we have a vaccine? It's because we have an organism that has been implicated in causing cervical cancer, and that is the human papillomavirus, the HPV. So this vaccine actually works to, exterminate the HPV or kill it off so that the risk of cervical cancer will be reduced in our women. So that is the vaccine we're talking about, the vaccine against HPV and cervical cancer. What is a cancer? A cancer is mostly disorderly growth or, growth of cells or arrangement of cells of our body. Now, anything that can cause stress at any part of the body, like constant and repeated stress, that will make the cells not repair the way they are supposed to or grow the way they are supposed to, it can lead to cancer. So what are the risk factors, the things that we expose ourselves to that will increase the risk of us contracting HPV or increase the risk of developing cervical cancer? First, I'm going to talk about smoking. As women, not just as women, as individuals, as people generally, smoking cigarettes is very bad for you. It is implicated in so many diseases. There is absolutely no benefit of smoking cigarettes or its counterparts. So smoking, the content of cigarettes and other things people smoke can cause disorderly growth of our cells normally in any part of your body. So it is also implicated in cervical cancer. It can cause disorderly growth of your cervical cells. The second is sexually transmitted infections. When a person is constantly getting sexually transmitted infections, you're not careful, you're not treating them properly, and your womb and your cervix, they are constantly exposed to these infections. They expose you to secondary infection by HPV. They could expose you to disorderly growth and repair of cells. So this could lead to cervical cancer. And these STIs, they could include anything from gonorrhea to chlamydia to HPV itself. HPV is a sexually transmitted infection also. Then we have the third, we have multiple sexual partners, or being a partner to someone who has multiple sexual partners. So what does this mean? It means you're consistently exposed to the risk of infection. I mean, you can vouch for yourself, but can you vouch for your partner? Can you vouch for the partners of your partner? So this is a risk factor. Then we have immunodeficiency states. For people that are already immunocompromised, it is easier for them to contract HPV. So some immunodeficiency state that is very common is the HIV. So it is very common for someone, it is easier, not to so to say, for a person with HIV to contract this HPV because of their reduced immune status. Then another risk factor is obesity. I always talk about this. We talked about this. We have to take better care of our health. Obesity is a risk factor for so many diseases. It is also implicated here because your cells are not growing properly, they are not repairing properly because of the fat cells. So the next is family history. If you have ever had someone in your family that has been treated of cervical cancer or has had cervical cancer or died of cervical cancer, you are at risk of contracting this because it has a genetic component and it can be passed down. So you have to be pretty careful. You have to be careful with your health, your screening. Then another is multiple pregnancies, usually greater than 5 children, is a risk factor. Children are a blessing, yes, but the fact that you're giving birth, for greater than 5 times, it can stress your womb, it can stress the cervix. Remember, the babies are passing through the cervix, and labor and delivery, as we talked about in my last video, is a very stressful process. So for when you do that for a lot of babies, it could stress the cervix into not repairing properly and growing properly. Then we have combined oral contraceptive pills. These have been indicated, if you have been taking this for greater than 5 years non-stop, it has been associated with greater risk of cervical cancer. Then we have a problem with economic status because people with very low economic status, they are prone to late diagnosis and nothing can be done at this stage. So those are the risk factors of cervical cancer. Okay, so we come to this vaccine. Why do we choose to give children from 9 years old this vaccine, 9 to 15 years thereabouts? Why do we choose to give them this vaccine, against HPV? Now, I've talked about the risk factors. You know that a very big leading factor is multiple sexual partners, is sexually transmitted infection, smoking. So we believe that these children, they have not been exposed to these risk factors, right? So when better to vaccinate them than when they are not exposed at all. That is why children from 9 years to 15 years are our target, especially in these climes where they are not exposed to these ills already, where they are not exposed to smoking, they are not exposed to sex, they are not exposed to different things, they've not started having babies. So these risk factors are very minimal or not seen in these children. That is why they are the target group. That is why we target them to give them this vaccine before they are exposed. Just the way you give your children measles vaccine, hepatitis vaccine at birth, so that it will protect them. That is the way we are protecting our girls from this infection, from this HPV infection that has been implicated in cervical cancer. But if you're older than this age and you've been exposed to these risk factors, is everything lost for you? Hell no. No. So, if you're greater than 15 years, you're not a virgin, you've had children, you've had multiple children, you have sexual partners, you have a sexual partner, you're married, all hope is not lost for you. All you need to do is walk into a facility that is equipped for carrying out a screening test, and the screening test is called pap smear. Most of our top hospitals do it. It is done in most of our general and teaching hospitals. So all you need to do is walk in and do a pap smear. Most times these pap smears are even free. They're carried out free at some particular time. Sometimes companies sponsor free pap smears for ladies. So please walk into that place, do a pap smear, and if it is negative, you will be advised to get the vaccine. Then you can go ahead to get the vaccine. If anything is found, no need to panic. Just talk to the gynecologist or talk to your gynecologist, and they will tell you the next steps to follow, or the next steps of treatment, or the next thing you will do. I know some people will be bothered about cost, but what price can you put to your life? What price can you put to your children's lives? So I don't think there's any price really. And if you cannot afford the high-end private hospitals, please, these vaccines are available in the general hospitals, in the teaching hospitals. Just go there. They are cheaper and you can do it. Sometimes the hospitals offer free pap smear tests, free screening tests. So please go there, get your test done, and get your vaccines. If you have children less than 15 years, from 9 years to 15 years, please go and get them these vaccines. There is no price to your life, living a beautiful and a fulfilled life. So don't put a price to it. Just save and go and do this test. So apart from a pap smear and this vaccine, how else do we prevent cervical cancer or prevent HPV infection that could cause cervical cancer? Well, we've heard of our risk factors. The first risk factor is smoking. So what do? If you smoke today, whether it's cigarette, whether it's shisha, whether it's vaping or anything, I don't know all the names they are called today, please, it is time to quit. It is time to quit. Smoking is not good for anything. So smoking is not beneficial in any way. The next is what I call sexual responsibility, and it's from the ABCs of sexual responsibility. The first is abstinence. If you do not need to have sex, there is no need to have sex. You do not need to rush. There's no need to rush into something you're not ready for. If you can abstain, please abstain from sexual relations. The second is be faithful. You need to have a committed partner to be faithful to. Both of you need to agree with yourselves, we are going to be faithful to each other. And in case you're wondering, it's not only women that are susceptible to HPV infections, okay? Men can also be susceptible to this, and it has been indicated in the development of penile cancer. So please, men, this does not concern only the women. So please be faithful, be responsible to your partner. The third is the use of condoms. Please, if you must have sex with people you're not sure of, with people you cannot vouch for their commitment to you, please use a condom. Okay, the condom prevents not just pregnancy, it will protect you against sexually transmitted infections. Please be sexually responsible today. Next is for my women, and it's called family planning. Yes, you can agree with your husband. This is for your health. Family planning is beneficial. All you need to do is walk into a health facility that is equipped for this. Most general and teaching hospitals or government hospitals are equipped for this. The top private hospitals around your area, they will be equipped for this also. All you need to do is discuss with the health practitioner in the family planning clinic. The person will educate you on your options and you make an informed choice. Family planning is important and is beautiful. First, it will help you plan for your babies, give them adequate spacing so that they can be healthy, and you can take care of each one properly and give them the needed attention. Secondly, it will help you heal as a woman. You don't have to pop babies every now and then. No, you will give birth, you will give yourself time to rest and recuperate. Then thirdly, in this day economic time, family planning is important for you to plan your family size the way you want, with what you can afford and the way you can afford. So these are the benefits of family planning for you. Aside from that, it will reduce your risk of cervical cancer from multiple pregnancies that are greater than 5. So please consider this. I hope we can all see and agree that this vaccine is not in any way meant to stop your children from having their own children. Rather, it is to protect them, to give them a chance against cervical cancer, to protect them from the risk of HPV infection. Please give your children that opportunity today. Take them to be vaccinated if they are not. Okay? Then, please, if this video has helped you, has educated you in any way, please like and comment on this video, and do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. The subscribe button is just down there. Just click on it and you'll be subscribed to this channel. And if you think in any way this video or my videos will be educative to someone, please do not hesitate to share this video to your friends and on your social media page. Thank you very much. Bye.